Can you lose your salvation? The Bible appears to say both yes and no. John 10:28, no one snatches them from God's hand. Hebrews 6:6, those who fall away cannot be restored. Same Bible, both authors knew both passages. This is not a debate between careless readers. It is a debate between people who weigh the same texts differently. 4 positions exist. 2 are here, 2 are in part 2. One of those passages turns on a single Greek participle that each tradition reads a different way. That participle is where everything divides. We will get there. Eternal security. Once saved, always saved. The Calvinist and Southern Baptist majority position. If God elected you before creation and salvation is entirely His act, its continuation depends on Him alone. Romans 8:38, nothing separates you from the love of God. John 6:37, all the Father gives me will come to me, and I will never drive away. The elect cannot lose what God has irrevocably given. Conditional security, salvation can be forfeited through sustained apostasy, the Arminian and Wesleyan position. Hebrews 6, Hebrews 10:26, and 2 Peter 2:20 describe believers who fall away from genuine spiritual experience. Galatians 5:4, those who seek justification through law have fallen away from grace. Free will that could say yes can also say no. Both positions rest their entire case on Hebrews 6:4-6, and both are reading the same Greek participle to opposite conclusions. That participle, parapeisantas, is what payoff opens with. Parapeisantas, from parapipto, those who have fallen beside the path. It is an aorist participle. In Greek, aorist participles describe action viewed as a complete event, not an ongoing state. The eternal security reading treats Hebrews 6:4-6 as hypothetical or descriptive of people who had deep exposure to Christian community without being truly regenerate. The argument, enlightenment, tasting, sharing are vocabulary that could apply to someone embedded in Christian community without possessing saving faith. The point of the passage is not that true believers can fall permanently. It is that if it happened, restoration would be impossible. That impossibility is so severe, God Himself ensures it never happens to the genuinely elect. This reading leans on the larger Pauline architecture. Romans 8:29-30 is the golden chain. Whom God foreknew, He predestined. Whom He predestined, He called. Whom He called, He justified. Whom He justified, He glorified. Past tense, including glorified. If God has already counted glorification as accomplished, no link in that chain is breakable. The Hebrews' warnings are the pastoral means God uses to ensure His people never become the people those warnings describe. The Arminian reading refuses the hypothetical. The language in Hebrews 6 is too specific to be superficial. Photisthenos, those who were enlightened. Gesamenos tes tueas tes eporanio, those who tasted the heavenly gift. Metikos pneumatos hagio, partakers of the Holy Spirit. Arminian scholarship from James Arminius forward has argued that to read these as hypothetical empties the warning of pastoral force. You do not describe the gifts of God with this precision and then claim the recipients were never real participants. The same freedom that allowed genuine faith allows genuine apostasy. A God who cannot be genuinely abandoned is not relating to human beings, He's managing them. Both traditions are doing careful exegetical work on the same Greek text. The participle does not settle the debate. What settles it provisionally is which theological framework you bring to the grammar before you start reading. Part 2 covers the Catholic view, distinct from Eastern Orthodox, and the Reformed perseverance doctrine, then what both Calvinist and Arminian scholars quietly agree on when pressed. Part 2, 2 more positions, then what both sides actually agree on. The answer is less divisive than the debate suggests. 2 down, 2 remain. Sacramental security reframes the question entirely, and the Catholic view differs from Eastern Orthodox in ways the debate usually collapses. Perseverance of the saints as a distinction most people miss. Then, what both Calvinist and Arminian scholars quietly agree on when pressed. Sacramental security, Catholic and Orthodox, related but distinct. Catholicism frames salvation forensically. Baptism initiates justification, mortal sin breaks it, confession restores it. The sacraments are how grace is conferred, maintained, and recovered. The Church holds the mechanism of restoration. Eastern Orthodoxy uses different categories. Salvation is not a legal verdict, but theosis, participation in the divine nature, grounded in 2 Peter 1:4. God became human so humanity might participate in divine life. Sin disrupts that participation. The sacramental life restores it. The question is ontological, not forensic. Perseverance of the saints, the Reformed position, distinct from simple once saved, always saved. The elect persevere, not because they hold on hard enough, but because God is faithful to keep them. Those who fall away permanently were never truly regenerate. 1 John 2:19, they went out from us, but they were not of us. Perseverance is God not releasing, not the believer gripping. But here is what no side publicly celebrates, and it changes the emotional weight of the question for the person actually asking it. Here is what every tradition in this debate agrees on when pressed directly. Nominal faith, intellectual assent without transformation, saves no one. The eternal security position does not promise heaven to everyone who once prayed a prayer. It promises security to those who are genuinely regenerate. If someone walks away permanently, the Reformed argument is not that they lost something real, it is that the evidence suggests they never possessed it. 1 John 2:19 is not a cold dismissal, it is a diagnostic observation. The conditional security position does not teach that genuine believers live in perpetual terror. Arminian and Wesleyan theology affirms that genuine faith, while it can be abandoned, does not dissolve accidentally or easily. The warning passages are pastoral instruments. They sustain seriousness. They are not designed to produce anxiety, but to prevent carelessness. The Catholic tradition holds that what is lost through mortal sin is not the soul's history with God, but its present participation in His life, and that the Church's sacramental structure exists precisely to restore that participation. The Orthodox agree that the sacramental life is the ongoing context of salvation, not its one-time origin. All four positions agree. A faith that produces nothing, no transformation, no direction, no evidence over a lifetime, was not saving faith to begin with. James 2:17. Dead faith saves no one. That agreement is more significant than the disagreement about mechanism. The pastoral implication that cuts through the entire debate: if you are anxious about whether you can lose your salvation, that anxiety is itself evidence of genuine faith. People who are truly walking away from God do not worry about walking away from God. The question you are asking is not the question of someone who has already answered it by leaving. What every tradition agrees meets God at the end is not a moment, it is a life that bore witness, however imperfectly, to what it actually believed. If you have ever sat in a church while a sermon gave you one passage and quietly avoided the others, this channel is built for exactly that instinct. What is the single strongest passage you would use against the position you hold, and have you read the best exegetical response the other side has written to it? Next week, Selah, the most searched mysterious word in the Psalms, appearing 74 times, meaning still disputed. That uncertainty is part of the argument. If you missed part 1, start there. It establishes the Greek participle that makes this video's resolution make sense.